This week on the Steam Machine podcast, in honor of Terry Funk, well, you know, Nate, we played through Trails in the Sky, and if there's one thing I want to tell you, you egg-sucking dog, it's that your mother's a whore. Cue the music. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Steam Machine podcast. My name is Dalton, and I bet most of you didn't get that intro reference. Joining me, as always, is my good buddy.
Yo, it's the Turtle Bear Man himself, one half of the Destructo Bros. It's Nate. What's going on, guys?
Yes, we are down one man this week. That is okay. He is with us in spirit, and we dove into some trails. But before we get to there, my good sir, what you been up to these past 2 weeks? How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing good. I can't remember if I finished the show last time before we talked or not, but I finished Severance.
Okay, I think you had started it in the last episode.
Yeah, that's what I think, too. Like, weeks go by so fast now. That show, freaking incredible. Highly recommend it to everybody. It's a really cool mindfuck kind of TV show.
That's my favorite kind.
Yeah, it's on Apple TV Plus or whatever. It's really, really good.
Okay. See, I don't have that, but I bet if I tried hard enough, Mr. Bay would let me borrow it. So
he probably would. He's a nice guy. He's nice like that.
Man. He's a nice man.
Yeah. So I highly recommend that one. And then, man, my least favorite thing happened last week, and that's when my wife goes out of town for a week. So I'm just sitting at home by myself for a full week. So it was a lot of playing most of Trails in that 1 week, to be completely honest. Because I knew it was coming up, and I was like, I'm going to need something to fill the time, so I didn't push too hard until last week to get through Trails. And then watched a lot of nature documentaries. I watched all of Our Planet on Netflix, which is like 16-hour-long episodes, I think.
Hell yeah. Dude, I love nature documentaries.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Like, they're fantastic.
So good.
If I could recommend one to you, that is, it's not very long. It's like 40 minutes, an hour long. It's on Curiosity Stream. I don't know if you have Curiosity Stream.
I need it, though.
So anybody listening, Curiosity Stream is like, I think it's like $16 for a year or something like that. Like, it's stupid cheap. Because, and I think their whole thing is they want to keep it cheap so people will learn.
Yeah.
You know, but there is a documentary on there. I think it's still on there. It might not be, but it was. It was all about squirrels and different kinds of squirrels. And it is just, it's educational, but it is so cute. Yeah. There are some freaking adorable squirrels in the world. And the fact that a marmot is considered a squirrel.
Marmots are squirrels?
It's fantastic.
Nice
yeah,
marmot.
They're like a big what's a marmot?
I said nice marmot.
Oh, they're
I know what a marmot is.
What cracks me up about them is like when they do their not battles, but like their displays of dominance and stuff like that, they basically like stand up on their hind legs and stick their bellies out and like pat their bellies, and they're like, look how fat I am, you can't mess with me. And I'm like, that's just tremendous. They're like sumo wrestlers.
Wish that's how fights in my neck of the woods were. I'd win a bunch of those.
Right, dude? I would be like, well, around here I might not be undisputed king, but I'd be up there in the heavyweight division. You know, Brandy pointed out to me the other day, she was like, you know, because somebody at work called me a fat fuck for some reason, and I was telling her about it, and she goes, you know what pisses me off so much about that is that, like, I've seen you go from over 400 pounds to where you're at now, and you work so hard, and these fucking people don't know. And I'm like, Brandy, calm down. She was getting more mad about it than me. And I was like, calm down. It's okay. Like, I've learned to let that shit roll off my back. Like, but in saying that, and working in the general public around here in Florida, in the sticks of Florida, bro, I am not nearly as fat as I think I am. Like, I'm a big dude. Don't get me wrong. I still have some ways to go. But there are some people who I see when I'm up at work, that men and women that are well over 280, or they're just shorter than me. So I don't know what they weigh, but they're shorter than me and they're wider. But like, I used to be real hard on myself about being so big, but now I'm looking at other people. I'm like, I'm really not that fat anymore. I'm cool with it.
That's fair, man.
So what else you been up to, man?
Yeah, and so while she was gone, I also decided to do just a cute little thing for her. So I know I mentioned we watched The White Lotus, and one of the big parts of that show was there was the fanciest room in the hotel was called the Pineapple Suite. So I went to Party City and got a bunch of like tropical Hawaiian and pineapple decorations and put them all throughout her bedroom.
Hell yeah.
And when she got home, I kind of acted like I was a hotel maid. I was like, now let me take you to our Pineapple Suite. When she got home, I'll get your bags for you in a minute.
Bro, that's tremendous.
Yeah.
I love shit like that, dude.
You gotta do some cute shit sometimes,
Oh yeah, dude. I know. And I love doing that for people too. Like, way back in the day, I did a thing for Brandy where like she showed up to my house and I had written on the door. She plays video games. She loves RPGs like us. So I had written on the door on note that was like, follow your quest trail to find the loot that you need. And she opened the door and there was flower petals.
Yeah.
That went to my bedroom, which led to this thing that like opened it up. And I think there was like a bracelet or a necklace, a ring, something like that in there. I don't remember what it was. And a note and everything. And then it was like, now turn your quest into the bard in the living room. And she came walking in the living room and I was sitting there playing guitar and saying, I think I played I Will Follow You Into the Dark for
Lame. I'm just kidding.
Listen, my friend Ashley, she loves the cute shit I do, but every time that I tell her about something I do, she goes, gay. But this is something that I have right now and she doesn't listen to this show, so I'll be okay talking about it. So I made Brandy a photo album thing for her birthday of pictures of like me and her from when we first met, like way back in the day up until now. And I ended it with, because she's a nerd and she's got a bookshelf and she loves reading and everything, I ended it with, you will forever be the beauty to my beast. I should call you Belle, or something like that, right? So when she gets to that part, I'm going to be like, and since you're Belle, you deserve a rose that'll last forever.
Nice.
See this in there? And it's this little rose in the glass thing, and then it lights up.
Yeah. Nice.
So I'm hoping she'll think it's sweet.
Sure she will, man.
It's funny, and I tell her all the time too. Like, I'm like, listen, I know I treat you like a girlfriend, but I want you to know that like I'm not trying to get with you or get in your pants or anything. I was like, you're my best friend, and I was like, would I marry you tomorrow? Absolutely. But what am I doing? I'm trying to show you how guys should treat you. So the next dude that comes along should treat you at least as good as I treat you, or better. And that's the way that I'm going about the thing.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Stone Cold said so. Throw me a beer.
Oh, man. I wish I had them in here with me because I'd show you, but they're in the other room. But she also got me a couple presents. So she found this store when she was out that had, like, very obviously knockoff video game merchandise. So she got me a keychain with a knockoff Knuckles for Sonic the Hedgehog and a knockoff Charmander that just looks amazing, and I love it so much.
The knockoff Knuckles, it's like his name is Finger Ends. I don't know what the hell you'd call a knockoff Charmander.
I called him Charles Mander.
There you go. Charlie Mander. Oh, that's too close to Charles Manson. Charlie Manson. No, it's Charlie Mander. Oh, man.
What about you, man? What you been up to?
Well, let's see. I got over COVID. I'd had COVID and then got over COVID. Work and more work. Let's see. Played some more Baldur's Gate 3. So I made a new character. So I didn't beat the game yet. My main character that I have is in Act 3. And I think that's the final act, but I could be wrong. But I made a new character because I was like, I want to try out another build, right? So I made this, I made a ranger because my first one was a fighter. So I made a ranger. And immediately in the beginning area, I found 2 more companions that I missed completely on the first run through. A rogue and a wizard. And I was like, what the hell? How did how did I not find you guys the first time? So that was cool. Been messing around with that. But let me tell you something. As good as Baldur's Gate 3 is, and I am enjoying the fuck out of it, bro, I started playing on GOG. I have it pulled up right here. It's called Avernum. I think it's Avernum. Escape from the Pit. So it's by Spiderweb Software. If anybody out there knows about Spiderweb Software, they've been around for a while. They put out low budget indie RPGs with a lot of writing, good writing. And it's kind of like Baldur's Gate-esque style graphics. Older Baldur's Gate, not newer Baldur's Gate. So Avernum Escape from the Pit originally came out in 1994, I believe, as Exile Escape from the Pit. And then a little bit later, they remade it into Avernum. And now they've remade it again. So he's like, yes, I watched the GDC with the guy that does Spiderweb Software the other day, and he's like, yes, my company is old enough now that we are making remasters and remakes of remakes. So yes, that's what we're doing. But dude, it's just tremendous, man. So I made Cardugo Vaughn is my go-to name for the games like that. Then I have a guy who is a fighter who looks like a barbarian, and his name is Turtle Bearman.
Nice.
Icebrand sounds like a wizard's name, so I have a wizard named Icebrand, which would be Willie's representation. And then I have a rogue, and I was trying to think, man, who would be the rogue? And then it clicked with me. Oh, okay, Retrogue. So I named him Rhett Rogue. So that's my team of 4, and we have been kicking ass, son. I am so happy with this fucking party. Nice. We've been kicking ass, and it's been a fun time, man. Very much one of those games where like you can do something and then be like, ha, and then you go and talk to somebody else, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm waiting for my friends to come along. They were coming down the path, and you have to be like, oh. So the goblins I just killed, yeah, I think they had all your friends like dead around, and things like that. So it's just things that happen in the world like is reactive, and I really like that. And the writing's been really good. It made me put down Baldur's Gate 3 and That's play impressive. It. So I mean, for an indie dev, I really enjoy it. There's one. So many, like, there's a bunch of different games that he's done. He's done Avernum, he's done Avedon, Queen's Wish. Then there's Gene Forge. And I think that Epic gave away Gene Forge Mutagen, which was the remake of the first Gene Forge game. And so I think most of us listening probably have it, especially if you're in the Discord, because cool. Kana is always on top of posting the Epic game. I missed so many Epic games when Kana was gone because I didn't think to check. Because every week Kana's like, boom, free games on Epic. Here you go, everyone, because she's the bomb.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, Gene Forge is one of the games that they made, and it's like the classic RPG style, but you make monsters. Like gene forging, basically. Yes, I mean, it's in the name. But you create... So I think that could be a cool game for the show, to check out and be like, ooh, what kind of crazy shit can we make?
Nice.
See what our teams end up looking like. Other than that, man, I've been playing some Session. There's a skateboarding simulator. Getting better at that. Still, it is so much more in depth than Skate. So it fucks with my brain because it's so Skate. The way it worked was like you controlled your feet, like you steered with the left stick, and then you controlled like ollieing and stuff with the right stick. On Session, you turn with the triggers. You can turn with the stick, but your left thumbstick controls your like front foot, and your right thumbstick controls your back foot. So if I want to ollie, I got to hold down on the right thumbstick and then flick the left thumbstick up, and it'll pop an ollie.
That seems complicated.
Boy, let me tell you, it is. And this quest I'm on, I was like, okay, I just need to play this game and get some time into it now, because this quest I'm on's like wants me to do a full line of it, like, so they're like, okay, we want you to go up and do a backside tail slide, and then flip out, and then go over here, manual across this other thing, and then hit the rail on the way down. And I'm like, how the fuck do you backslide tail slide on purpose? I try, and I might hit it 1 out of 20 times because I'm just like, what the fuck? But it's fun though. It's one of those games. It's almost like the satisfaction that you would get when you beat a hard part in Hollow Knight. Yeah. And you're like, yeah, finally I got past that motherfucker. It's the same feeling I get when I'm like, yes, I finally beat this fucking mission that asked me to do these tricks. And I'm like, how? Yeah, so I've been playing that. Haven't really left the house much. So not too much interesting on that front. I might have an interview tomorrow, but I might not go to it because it seems real weird.
That's fair. You told me a little bit about it.
Yeah. So it's a group interview for an assistant store manager position, which just seems odd to me. Like, I get doing a group interview for part-time associates and stuff like that because you're going to want a lot of them. But like, you don't need a lot of assistant store managers. So although Aldi, which is the company that is doing, Aldi is supposedly buying up a bunch of Winn-Dixies and Harveys around here, which is funny because I used to work for Harveys and then it got bought out by Winn-Dixie. And I remember when it was Food Lion and it got bought out by Harveys. So it's like that company's been passed around like a motherfucker. Then on the other side of town, you got Hitchcock's. Hitchcock's used to be Miller's. And then it went to Hitchcock's, been the same ever since. They're holding it down over there. This other company over here just keeps switching like a motherfucker. But, you know, I guess whatever makes the company the most money, I suppose that's what they're going for. Like, let me get that payout, dog. Let me get them millions and millions and millions of dollars. Can't even imagine. I'd like to have $100,000. Fuck $1 million. Goddamn. But yeah, dude, it's been an interesting 2 weeks, gaming wise, but other than that, nothing else really.
Yeah, I feel you.
Nothing else. So I guess that will lead us into our game talk, my good sir. I need to pull up the O-dubs real quick.
Didn't we do that last time?
Did we do it last time?
Screw it, do it again.
I don't remember. I'll run through it quickly. Trails SC Wiki. I knew I was forgetting something when we were getting ready, and it was to pull this up. All right. The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky SC is a 2006 role-playing game developed by Nihon Falcom. The game is part of the Trails series, which itself is part of the larger Legend of Heroes series, and that is a hole to dive in if you want to look at how many games are actually in this series. And it serves as a direct sequel to Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. This was first released in Japan for Windows, which was always surprising to me, in 2006 before releasing for the PlayStation Portable the following year. Trails in the Sky SC did not see an English release until 2015 due to the large amount of text necessary to translate and localize. Now, pause. I'm going to go ahead and reference it right now so I don't forget. There is a fucking chest message in this game that you check, because, you know, every chest, if you don't know, in these games, you check a chest and get your item out, check it again, because it's going to have something funny or smarmy. One of them that I checked was literally like, please send help. We've been translating this game for so long, dash the locale team. And I'm like, yeah. Seeing it that this game, like you said, came out in 2006 and didn't get an English release till 2015. Whoo.
There's
a lot of text in this game.
I don't believe that it took 9 years to do it. I don't think they were working on it for 9 years straight, but...
Oh, no, probably not that long. But say they decided in 2012 that they were going to be like, okay, yeah, let's bring this over to English audiences and see what happens. Still, you know, I don't know when development started on that. I wish I knew. Yeah.
But the crazy thing about that to me is, like, this is a game from 2006. We didn't get it till 2015. Can you imagine how good your game has to be to feel confident that people are going to want to buy your 9-year-old game?
Yeah, and they did, and that's the thing. I wonder, when did the first Trails of Cold Steel game come out? I bet that was what sparked. Let me look that up real quick. Trails of Cold Steel 1 release date: September 26, 2013.
Okay.
And then, and then a high definition port of this was released in 2013 for PlayStation 3, and a remaster was released on the PlayStation Vita in 2015, but both were only released in Japan.
Wow, okay.
So, damn, man. I would love to play a PS3 version of this, although I guess it would be the same thing as playing it on computer. Now that I'm thinking about it, never mind.
Yeah.
But it'd be cool to have the PS3 disc of the Japanese version.
For sure.
Hey there, you wonderful listeners. I have a question for you. Do you want to make a podcast? Well, Spotify's got a platform that lets you make one super easily and then distribute it everywhere, and even earn money all in one place and for free. How can you beat that? It's called Spotify for Podcasters, and here is how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right from your phone or computer, so no matter what your setup is like, you can start creating today. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and everywhere else podcasts are heard. Video podcasts are also available on Spotify. And when you want to take conversations with your fans to the next level, there are Q&A and poll options available, and those are the best way to get them talking. With Spotify for Podcasters, you can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. And best of all, it's totally free with no catch. Ever since I've discovered Spotify for Podcasters, it has made doing my shows like the Steam Machine Podcast, Yabs Pod, and the JRPG Report much, much easier to do. Like being able to just go on there, record them, upload it, boom, it's done. I don't have to pay for a site service to host or anything like that. It's fantastic. So I highly recommend that you give it a try. Download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started today. But yeah, so this to me feels like that this could have been like one long game. Trails FC and Trails SC.
Yeah, it definitely just felt like a continuation of the same story. They did a couple things, I think, at the beginning of the game to make it feel like a different game, but it was completely unnecessary. The only reason I think they did it, and the main thing, this is what I'm talking about, they did was they made you get a new kind of ornament so that you have to redo all your ornaments throughout the course of this game. But because if you didn't, you'd be overpowered way too early in the game. But yeah. I honestly think that that's the only reason they had to do that.
Yeah, I think I agree with you because I mean, and I guess based on if you carried your save over, they were like, yo, here's a amount of stuff that you can go ahead and go buy some stuff to get it set up right. But yeah, other than that, and then some other things like in the beginning that kind of probably could have been left out. Like they could have like taken this and released it as one long ass game. Yeah. Though they probably were like, well, but you know, at the time, were long RPGs really a thing back then, other than like the niche, you know, like computer RPGs that were 100 hours long?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Remember. I think we've looked into this a little bit, and I don't think there was anything quite this long out at the time. But
other than like your Final Fantasies and Dragon Quests, but
yeah, but I do think there was, spoiler alert for a little bit later, a lot of chaff to cut from SC.
Yeah. Oh, dude, we can get into that right now since that's kind of stuff in the beginning we want to talk about. So let's just go with it. What was your first impressions of SC? I know we covered that a little bit last episode, but I played a lot more since then. So yeah, I really liked the prologue. I thought the prologue was great. Kind of picked up right where the first chapter left off. So and it kind of shows what Estelle did right after Joshua left, which was she went to this training camp so she could get herself to be stronger so she could go find Joshua. And I really liked that whole aspect, the way they handled the training camp. I thought that was really fun, the way that was handled. And then after that, you go into the first few chapters of the game, and boy, in my opinion, were they a slog. It was a lot of rehashing things from the first game, a lot of reintroducing characters that you already knew from the first game. And yeah. Because there was even a chest in this game that I found later on where the text after you took the thing, I was like, boy, I bet this you didn't play the first game. You're really confused right now. So it's like, yeah, I bet. So why did you make me reintroduce to all those characters like that in the beginning of this game? Yeah. Yeah, and I know I get like in theory why they did it, because there's always the chance that your game is this one's going to be someone's first. But at the same time, and I think we've had this conversation off air, who the fuck comes into a series and is like, oh, this is the second chapter? Yeah, I'll start here.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Especially because and I get it, but that does leave a little bit of an issue from, an American point of view, because SC came out so much longer after the first chapter came out in the United States. Yeah. So I don't know what the availability of the first game was by the time this one came out, now that I think of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I assume that the first game would have been on at least like Steam and things by that point.
You're right. This was that. See, my brain, I forget that this is the computer era, this isn't older. It is older than that, but it's not older than that for us in America. So I guess that kind of flip the switch on that a little bit.
And again, I know the first game, like where it got real popular was it was on the PSP.
Yeah.
So a lot of people played that, on the go. And I believe the second one also came out for PSP. So these were like a PSP series over here for a while, and then they got PC ports, I believe. Which
so that kind of cuts out my own point then, that they didn't need to do this big, long reintroduction to the characters.
No, they really didn't. And a couple parts definitely drag in the beginning for sure. Some of the like side quests and stuff you do are just like, oh man, this is just filler, right?
Yeah, it's like, go here, now go here, now go here. Like, okay.
And one thing I did appreciate about second chapter was that they made it very distinct in the first game. Like, you guys are bracers in training, so you need to travel around on foot and learn the people in the land and get to know everyone and meet people along the way, because when you become full bracers, you might not have the opportunity to do that. And then in this game, there is some running around towards the end of the game, but for the most part, when you're going to another city, you go hop on an airship. You don't go take off on foot like you did in the first one. So I thought that was a cool little evolution, where they were like, you're full-fledged bracers now. Hop up on the flying thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as like, man, I hate to say this. To me, and I don't know if it was because I was playing it with COVID and I just had the time, like it didn't bother me, but I absolutely agree that the first few chapters were a slog, just like kind of like crawling through mud, getting through it. They do introduce you to some people who become pivotal to this game. Like I believe you meet Rena.
Yeah.
Relatively early on in the game. And I remember messaging you and being like, bruh, there's going to be a character that you come across. And there's something about this girl. I think she's going to come back later in the series. So I'm not going to give it away. Oh, no, I don't even think I told you it was a girl. I said, you're going to come across a character. And I absolutely think, and then you messaged me and you're like, Rena? Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Well, but the funny thing about it is we both got way different impressions about what that character was going to end up being.
Yeah, for sure. And you ended up being correct. I thought that she was going to be like, oh, okay, well, Estelle's going to keep up with this girl and she's going to come back in the later games, maybe be in Cold Steel, something like that. Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah.
She turned out to be one of the villains of the game.
Yeah, what was the dead giveaway to me on it was the art style reminded me too much of the rest of the Society of the Ouroboros, which was the main conflict in this game, essentially. It was, and one thing I did like about this game is because like it was alluded to at the end of the last game, there was a Society of Ouroboros. You'd even kind of heard of one of them, the Phantom Thief B. He was kind of a plot point in the first game as well, and you did meet Professor Weissman. It was Weissman, right?
Yeah, and then also you met Loe.
Lowe, yeah.
Loe. I think it's actually like Love.
Probably.
Yeah, Lowe. Whatever. You meet him because he's under a different name. Lawrence. Yeah, and he kicks the shit out of you in the first game.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so the thing I was going to say was like the one cool thing I think they did was introduce you to all these different, all the different kind of underlings, not the underlings, these are like the high-ranking officials of the Ouroboros. So you met like, I think 4 or 5 or 6 of them maybe in this game.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. And that was the coolest part of the game to me was like the villains, kind of getting to meet them. And the really cool thing they did was, it's either really cool or really corny, depending on how you look at it. I kind of enjoyed it. But all of the members of that society had a deep connection with somebody in your party, in the Bracer Guild.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like that too, because that gives you more, what's the word I'm looking for? Investment. Yeah. Like, you're like, oh, well, I love these characters, and you're attached to these characters, so that means that you have some importance to them. You're not just some rando.
Mm-hmm. Because in the first game, like Lawrence, that we talked about, he was just kind of big badass rando that you didn't really know anything about. But in the course of this game, you kind of learn his connection to two of your main characters, Joshua and Agate.
Yeah. And the connection with Joshua, it's like,
damn.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So, like, I know at one point, like, I kept telling you, like, when we would talk off air, it was like, dude, this game starts ramping up and then it just picks up and goes. And I hope that you don't think that I was lying to you, because, like, I think you, like, pretty much, it's like, dude, when this game starts kicking in that story, it kicks in fucking hard. And it's like, man, it starts being boom, boom. And those last few chapters are like bangers, but getting to them again was like, whew.
I, for the most part, agree. I still think there were some dips in the mid game as well. But, like, I think for the most part, yeah, it did pick up and became a better game by far after the end of, like, say, the 4th chapter.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was when shit actually started kind of not revealing itself, but more things were coming to light.
Yeah, and there were lots of cool twists and turns. Some of, like, your favorite characters, like, you have twists that you may or may not have seen coming just based on the characters. Like, I didn't think there was a twist for Olivier from the first game in this game. I did not find it shocking at all. I don't know if you did.
So, the fact that he was a prince,
yeah,
surprised me. I knew he had something to do with Erebonia because of things that were hinted at in the first game and things throughout this game. When he dropped that line, the next time I see you, it will be his enemies, I was like, oh shit.
I kind of laughed
he a member
at that.
of Ouroboros? Huh?
I kind of laughed at that line because, like, this is him being dramatic again because that's what he does. I didn't believe he was going to be an actual enemy for a second.
Again. Dude, I love that character. Olivier, dude, he is fantastic.
For sure.
But yeah, then when he shows up later on, he's all like dressed up in his military outfit and everything, and he's like, Prince Olivier something something, son of the leader of Erebonia. And he's talking with Chloe. For one, I love that this is like a serious ass like military discussion, and Estelle's just like, hold on, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm throwing down my bracer rank. Olivier, what are you doing? He's like, have we met? Don't play dumb with me, Bard boy. Like, like, oh, I loved it. She just fucking snaps on him. Tremendous, dude. There were some moments in this game that I was legitimately like grinning ear to ear.
Yeah.
There were some moments that made me tear up a little bit. I didn't like full on boo-hoo cry like I have at some games, but I did tear up at this. Specifically the Agate backstory, and then when it got revealed what happened to the town of Hamel. It was one of those. Hamel. And man, brutal. And then talking about when Lo lets Estelle in on why Joshua is the way he is, and does that whole backstory of how him and Joshua know each other.
Yeah.
And it was like, mother of God, this is great writing.
Yeah, dude. Like, I had already liked Agate a lot as one of my probably top 5 characters in the first game. He's like top 3 out of the series now for me. Like, Agate is so good. I love that guy.
Dude, he's fantastic, and he's a hard hitter. But like when you show up to the town that he's from, when that dragon attacked it or whatever, and he just is like, I have to go, and just disappears. I was like, man, don't do anything stupid. And then he went and did something stupid.
Yeah. Agate rushed in and just got himself in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, got wrecked.
And that was kind of the interesting thing about the villains, too, because, like, obviously Lo, or however you want to pronounce it, was one of the biggest villains arc of this game, right? And the way that he talked to everyone, and still you could see his humanity in him a little bit, because like the way he talked about Agate when they fought, was like, you're weak because you don't know what you're fighting for. Once you figure that out, you'll actually probably be a pretty good fighter. You know?
Yeah, and I think that whole thing was because Lo's, like, he wasn't in Ouroboros because he was evil. He was in it because he was just like, he wanted humanity to prove that they were worth it.
Yeah,
because of the loss that they go into. We can leave that to viewer speculation. They can go play the game if they want to know those juicy details.
Yeah.
But
I thought that was super well handled, and Lowe became probably the best written part of the antagonists of this game.
Yeah.
Because honestly, Weissman, who's the leader, the assumed leader, I think obviously after seeing what happened in this game, there's some people above him even. But Weissman, just kind of a generic evil for being evil's sake kind of villain,
Yeah, the people under him were much more well written. And I'm very curious to hear from you some of the special things in the end where if you were to take certain characters to certain fights, because you took the time to do that and I did not. And I commend you for that, my good sir. Because I know you had... I can't remember her name, but it was the ghost, the fog lady. Her and Sherazard were connected. Then you had the wolf.
The dire wolf was connected with Zen.
Was Zen. And then Lowell and Josh. And then Ren's was Tita, right?
Tita, yeah. Because the twist with Renee is she starts off looking at this as a sweet little girl, and so they keep sending her and Tita off to play together. And so...
Yeah.
If you think about it at the end of the game, you're like, oh shit, they were just sending Teed off with this psychopath.
With an absolute murderer. Dude, so Ren looks like the cutest little purple-haired girl. Just with some crazy-looking eyes, right? Everybody knows a girl with some crazy eyes. And she's so sweet. And then it just gets dropped on you that, she set this whole thing up that you go through. Oh, and by the way, she reaches behind her back and whips out a scythe that's 2 sizes bigger than her. And she's apparently called the Angel of Slaughter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Dude, where are your parents? Oh, you mean these? They're dolls? What the fuck? Because I literally said that. What happened to your parents? Out loud. And then in the cutscene, they basically say, what the fuck? What about your parents? And then she drops the dolls, and they're like, no, they're orbit doll things. And I'm just like, mother of God.
Yeah.
What an evil. And then she calls down the Pata Mata.
Yeah.
Which is just German for mother or father mother. Yeah. And big ass robot thing. Then there are some cool bosses in this game.
I do like in this series how if something has a German sounding name, it's pretty much guaranteed to be evil.
100%. Yeah. Weissman, the Pata Mata.
What was the name of those soldier units from the first game that were...
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, they were the SS almost.
They had a very German name, and they were definitely the baddies. I feel like this game had definitely had political statements it was making as well, with the very not so well hidden fact that the main country's name that you're all from and defending is called Liberal.
Yeah, Liberal. And what's funny is I think they try to get around with that. They try to pronounce it as Liberal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, okay. And I'm a Democrat.
But yeah, it definitely hit on political themes. It's very anti-fascist, which I think is fitting for today's day and age.
Yeah, absolutely. It aged well.
Yeah.
It aged well. Maybe this was Neon Falcom trying to distance themselves from Germany just a little more. It's like, wait, we're cool over here in Japan. We're cool. Just forget about that. Nah, not that. No, they're evil. See, in our games, bad guys. Bad guys.
But yeah, and I think one of my biggest complaints about the game was the lack of too many additional characters, because this game already had an extensive roster, which I didn't think was handled all that well for the most part, because there's so many times where you just can choose between whatever 8 characters you want to take. And I kind of would have liked it better if there was more mandatory use of different characters, because there were some characters I just ended up like, I don't really want this person in my party ever because they're not super useful ammo. So they'd end up being 20 levels behind everybody else.
Yeah, man. Boy, did I learn that the hard way towards the end of the game. it was to a point where at the end of the game, every battle I got through, maybe every other battle, Chloe was leveling up. Mm-hmm. Because she was so much further behind. Because for the most of this game, I ran Estelle, Olivier, Agate, or I guess technically Agate, but it's Agate, and Zen. And then when I got Joshua, I ran Estelle, Josh, Agate, and Zen.
So you used Zen a lot more than I did.
I like Zen a lot because he was a tank.
Yeah.
So like I would let him go out into the middle of shit and get hit, and I'd keep him healed with Estelle, and then I would use Josh to just wreck shit. Him and Agate just wreck shit.
Yeah. See, the person I ended up never using, which made me sad because I liked the character a lot, was Sherazard. Like I never used Shera.
Yeah, and fun fact, in the beginning of the game, you get a choice between who you want to join you, Agate or Sherazard.
Yeah.
My deciding factor in that, and it's funny because the video that I watched, the guy said the same thing, and I was like, well, I'm validated. You spend the whole first game, the beginning of the first game, with Sherazard.
Yeah.
So it was like, I'm gonna take Agate. And then I was also glad I did that because I remember that armor and stuff in this game is sex-based.
Yeah.
So if you're rolling with Shira and Estelle, you're going to be picking up armor that you can't use for a while. So it was nice to kind of have the balance of the two.
And like when you make that decision too, like I don't remember how long in the game it actually was, but looking back, it felt like a long time before they rejoined your party. Because like if you go a long time after that decision, not having Shara at all.
Yeah, I want to say it was at least a chapter or two.
I think so. I think it might have been 2 or almost 2.5.
Because Annalise is the one that Shira's with, right?
Yep.
Which, bro, what? That scene where they come back and Annalise is like, there's something I really want to tell you, Estelle, and I really want to ask you, and I don't know how you're going to react about it. And it is totally making it seem like she's about to like confess her love to Estelle. Yeah. To the point that Agate's like, it does the thing where he's like thinking to himself, and he's like, damn kids, are they really going to do this here in public? And then it turns out Annalise is like, I want to be your rival. And everyone gives a sigh of relief. Oh.
And see, and this was one of my first parts that I was really bummed out in this game, playing this game, because what I had thought was going to happen when that split happened was I was going to be playing 2 parties. I was going to be playing Estelle and Agate here, and they were going to meet people to join the party, and I was going to be playing Shara and Annalise here, and have people join the party. You never play as Annalise again. Annalise is only in the very beginning of the game. During the prologue is when you get to play with Annalise in your party, and then she's gone forever. Which
is a bummer, because she's a great character.
Yeah.
Like, she is fantastic. The chemistry between her and Estelle was awesome. And yeah, she's just gone. She's in another team, And then there was one other... Oh, yeah. While I'm still thinking about it, this is kind of a backtracking a little bit, dude. When Agate goes and he gets fucked up, and then he comes back to his town. And Tita, because Tita's got this weird relationship with Agate, and she's like, let me stay and take care of him. You guys are like, okay, so you guys leave. And then there's this big, long cut scene with Tita and Agate. And it was so heartwarming because Tita was just like crying and upset, but in a good way. She was just so happy that Agate was like okay and waking up and stuff. And then I think that's when he explains to her about his sister and what had happened, because she had kind of overheard. And then she's like, well, I'll be your sister. Oh, it was just, what a heartwarming little scene. And it's like, man, I enjoy that my jaded ass can still get moments like that make me tear up a little bit. And I'm not just like, well, this is fucking dumb. Let's get back to the action. Call of Duty.
Yeah, no, I definitely really like that scene as well. And I like how it was basically being built up to since the first game, because Tita and Agate had developed that strong relationship from the first game, so I think that it was extremely well done. Some of the things that they thought through from the first game to the second game they had the whole thing written out beforehand. They had to for this to have worked as well as it did.
Yeah, 100%. I do think that they sat down and wrote this entire story, and then were like, "This is long. We should split this."
Yeah. But moving back to my last point too, is like where I was bummed we need to play as Annalise more.
Yeah,
there was a lot of that in this game. Like there were actually only really, not including Annalise, 2 characters that were added into your party at any point in this game from the first game. And we haven't even mentioned him at all, but this guy's a big player throughout the course of the game. It's this guy named Kevin.
I was just about to bring up Kevin. Man, I love Kevin.
Kevin is fantastic. I love this character a lot, which is a hard thing to do in a sequel, is to write in a character that the people that played the first game are going to like as much. And I feel like it took me like a chapter or 2 to warm up, but once I did, Kevin became like this character that I really, really liked.
Dude, any scene that had Kevin and Olivier interacting with one another was pure gold. Pure gold, because they are one of the same.
And the funny thing about Kevin is he's a priest. Well, that's what they tell us in the beginning of the game. He introduces himself as a priest of the Idios Church.
Yeah, and he's like one of the... and then you find out he's like a Grails Ritter, which is what they call it, which is like one of the people who goes and hunts down artifacts. But he's like, but I'm just a rookie.
Yeah.
Like, I'm new at it. They just sent me out because they're like, oh yeah, you can handle this. It's not going to be too hard and everything. And you learn as the game goes on that motherfucker is full of shit.
Yeah. He's very good at lying. And his relationship with Estelle is kind of funny too.
Oh yeah, where he's like... He is so much with Estelle, like one of those guys who's like, we could make out right now. Yeah. Unless you don't want to, then I'm just kidding. It's all good.
Like one of my favorite scenes too was when Joshua does come back and he's with Estelle. He's like, Kevin pulls Joshua aside. He's like, "Hey man, if you leave her alone like that again, just remember, some guys might take that as she's single."
Yeah, he's just like giving Josh like the little nudge, like, "Yo, you do that again, I'm taking this bitch from you."
Yeah.
fucking try me, bro. You see this green hair? I don't play around. My brother's the lead singer of Offspring. But yeah, man, Kevin turns out to be a total badass.
Yeah.
And I am actually like excited that he is the protagonist of Trails of the Third.
Yeah, you mentioned that to me. I haven't looked too much into the third yet because I kind of want a lot of that to be a surprise, but I'm not surprised that there's a new main character just with the way this one wraps up. And I'm pretty excited it's him. I want to know how that plays out because he was a really cool character.
Yeah, I have no idea. All I did was I clicked on it to look at. I think I installed it because I was going to load it up and check it out. But like the cover is Kevin and some other chick. So I was like, okay, I'm going to assume. And then I just looked it up and it was like, yeah, he's the main protagonist. Protagonist. I always get protagonist and antagonist. I'm like, no, I got that right. Protagonist. Yeah, he's the protag for the third one. And I don't know anything else. I just know that like I'm ready for that eventually.
And then the other character that she doesn't get added to the party until super late either. So like it's kind of like almost like an Annalise type situation where she doesn't really get added to like the last chapter of the game instead of being the first part of the game. But one of my favorite NPCs from the first game becomes playable at the end of this game, which was Josette, the blue-haired
Sky tomboy.
Bandit. Yeah, stupid tomboy.
Dude, I really enjoyed the way they wrote her in this game too. Because in the first game, she's just kind of like...
She was an NPC.
She was a bad guy. She was like a Jesse from Jesse and James. Like that kind of like, just like... yeah. And then in this game, being that, for the first half of the game, Josh is with the Capua Bandits, you really get to know them more, and especially Josette. And they built her character so well. It was amazing that in my heart of hearts, I knew Josh was going to go back to Estelle, but there were times that I'm like, oh, dude, is he going to end up with this chick?
Yeah.
Because Josette was about Josh, bro.
Oh, yeah.
About him.
But yeah, like, those were my favorite NPCs from the first game, and I'm really glad they got fleshed out more in SC.
Yeah, 100%. And that, like, they elaborated on the fact that in the first game, they were being mind controlled. They're really not super bad. I mean, they're not good people, but they're not evil like they were in the first game because they were mind controlled by who we now know as Weissman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree, man. They were fantastic. Josette, I beat the game with her in my party.
That's funny to me. Like, my final party when I went to beat the final boss was Estelle, Joshua, Agate, and Kevin.
That's a hell of a roster.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a roster. Mine, because I was lazy, I needed these 2 characters for things and then never went back to change them, was Estelle, Josh, Chloe, and Josette. I hope that my advice that I gave you helped a little bit. Because, brother, when I got to that part where I needed an ancient name or whatever to get the bracelet for it to print me out the thing for the whatever the fuck, I ended up having to look up a guide.
Oh, I did too.
I was like, what the fuck am I? Who? And then I looked it up and they're like, oh, you need Chloe because she's got elder blood or whatever. And then you put it on. I'm like, oh, okay.
Which makes sense, but I'm glad I just looked that up and didn't spend. Like, I used a guide for parts of this game because I was just like, I don't want to spend forever knocking my head against the wall trying to figure things out.
Yeah. And then I saved Josette and then ran all the way to the fucking ship where you're supposed to go to next. And they were like, we shouldn't do this without Josette. God damn it. So I'd run all the way back to the ship, get Josette in my party, then run all the way back. So much. That's why I was like trying to save you some backtracking by like, hey, learn from my mistake. Yeah. Take this person and this person with you.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean, we talked about this before we started. I didn't want to cover this game beat by beat because I very much want people to go play this if you haven't. Like,
yeah, and I think we've talked about a lot of this stuff, especially if you listen to our episode on the first game. We kind of gave some hints on what kind of happens, and I think they're definitely worth playing through. Yeah. I feel like there was one other thing I wanted to bring up, but I can't think of it.
I will say that I think the battle system was improved a little bit. I didn't use it as often as I probably should have, but the combo system was cool.
That was cool. I didn't use it as much as I should have either, but when I remembered it existed, man, you could deal some damage fast.
You could do some serious damage. Like, especially in the times that I could, where there was like a little group of enemies near each other and I could hit more than one at a time. It was like, yes, please. Because I don't know about you, but like starting this game off at the level you did, it was like, it wasn't hard, but it definitely didn't feel like, oh, okay, I'm starting a game from scratch. It was like, oh no, I'm very much continuing from where I left off because these enemies are hitting me hard as fuck.
Yeah. But once you were finally starting able to like grab your new equipment and stuff, like it leveled out pretty easy. Yeah. You got strong again, but yeah.
Yeah, but there in that first little bit before I started getting some gear, I was like, whoa, boy, this might be a little bit of a struggle. But it like you said, it leveled off, which was nice.
One mechanic in this game that I thought was, it's a really good mechanic, was that if you die in a battle, you lose the battle, you can just hit retry and it pops you up back into the beginning of that fight. Yes, and it also lowers the difficulty. Yes, and that is also very nice. You can actually turn that off in the options, and I was like, why? Why would I want to?
Why would you do that?
Because like the hardest boss fight in the game, and I don't think it's going to be a surprise that this is a boss fight, was probably Lowe or Lawrence. Like that was the hardest boss fight in the game. I had to hit retry on that one 3 or 4 times.
Bro, yeah, same. Because, dude, his clones, it was like, if you didn't take care of those fucking clones, they were going to overwhelm you. Yeah. And not only that, he's also got these other things that are in the battle, too, you have to worry about. And it was just, there was so much going on.
Yeah. Whereas I didn't need a retry for the final boss.
No, you know what was funny is the final boss, like, so, full disclosure, I spent a day of playing this game just grinding.
Of course
with
you
a
did.
trainer, with a trainer on with 2 times XP. Right? So I beat this game with Estelle, Josh, I think it was just those 2. We're at max level.
Wow, okay.
Right? So it was funny that when I was attacking the final boss, I'm like, why am I not hurting you? I did so much grinding. Why am I not? And then it turns out that he's got a force field and there's some shenanigans that go on, yada, yada, yada. But like, I was livid. Like, don't tell me I wasted all that. And then when I could finally hit him, I started doing some damage to him. Like, there it is. Okay. My time was not wasted.
Yeah.
But man, dude, the scene where Lowe comes in is it but it's not Bose. What was it? It doesn't. The big city when he comes crashing on that dragon, boom, and he's just sitting on top of a dragon. I'm like, what a badass. And then he's like, no, this is just part of an experiment. Just wanted to see if the dragon would listen to me, and then flies off. And it's like, dude,
yeah,
that was so cool. And then the cutscenes in there were a couple anime cutscenes, which I thought was cool. The cutscenes of like the ships doing air combat and fighting the dragon and different things like that was super well done in my opinion.
Yeah, I like that.
I really enjoyed it, man. Yeah. So if you were gonna let's do a rating, my good sir.
All right, let's get into it.
If you were gonna give Trails SC a rating, what would you give it?
Yeah, so I had to look this up because I honestly thought this game was very good, very fun, but I don't think it's as good as the first game. I think the first game was a better game by a full point, and I gave the first game a 9 out of 10. So this one I'm going to go ahead and give an 8 orbaments out of 10 bow staffs.
All right, dude. I mean, I can't argue that. I don't remember what I gave the game. I probably gave it a very high score because I really liked the first one. But I would give this one, like, objectively, because like I said, and we talked about, is a little bit of a slog in the beginning, but it really ramped up in the end, which earned it back some points with me. But like, I'm gonna give it a solid 8.5 Kevins out of 10 Olivier's.
That's fair. I think it's a good, solid rating.
Like, very good game. Definitely recommend you guys play it. Play the first one first. It'll be a much better experience.
I definitely want to play the third one, though. I definitely am excited to get into that one at some point. Hopefully, Master Loot sooner rather than later.
Yeah, hopefully. And then with after the Trails in the third, then we got the two Crossbell games, and then you're getting into Cold Steel. Now, I do want to tell you, I loaded up Cold Steel just to see what it looked like with the 3D graphics and everything. It looks good. But something that I realized is that the hold R2 to speed things up, still around in Cold Steel.
Because that was such a godsend in these games.
Hell yeah, dude. I can't imagine how much longer this game would have taken me if I didn't have that button. I held that button down 80% of this game.
Bruh. No joke. I can't imagine going through combat without holding that button down, because combat is so slow if you're not holding down the R trigger.
Yeah, dude, it got to the point too in combat where anytime there was like a slight cutscene or something, I would just hit B and it skips through it, and it would be, so like the final moves, like your S breaks and stuff, I would hit it and then just tap B.
I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah, and it would just immediately just boom hit him with the damage, and it would be over with.
I would have liked to have known that.
Yeah. Well, now you know for the third. Yes, you can skip animations.
All right. All right, buddy.
Yeah, so my question for you, do you want to do listener questions first, or do you want to go ahead and do the quiz about the game?
Let's do the quiz. Let's go ahead and
do the quiz. All right.
Because we had a go ahead, go for it.
Oh, so we had a quiz created by one Master Loot for the Steam Machine podcast for the Trails in the Sky SC Trivia. Now, the way this is set up, he did it like a PowerPoint, but I don't have a PowerPoint thing on here, so it loaded it up as a
PDF,
like a slide file thing. Okay. So I can look at the questions without knowing the answers. I'll have to just scroll down. So this first one, the rules of the trivia. The host shall display this presentation to himself and participants. So now that I'm thinking about it, let me share my screen real quick.
Going fancy with this one. All right.
The host shall participate, but refrain from looking up answers / turn off your second monitor if you have one. I don't need to do that, but thank you, sir. The host shall reveal question / statement and options and read them out clearly. Participants shall carefully read the question statement and choose one of the 4 given options. Once participants have chosen the answers, the host shall reveal the correct answer, and participants, including the host, shall note if their answer was correct. Host and participants shall continue until they have reached the end of this trivia, where their bracer rank shall be determined by the count of their correct answers. Have fun. I like that at the end, the bracer rank thing. I dig that. All right, so during your first battle against Walter the Direwolf, your team gets saved by A, earthquake caused by the gospel, B, bracer Zen, C, no one, you get spared by Walter, or D, the Zeiss branch manager Killica. I'm going B. It was Zen, because that was his introduction to this game, I'm pretty sure.
Was it? I can't remember now. Because part of me's thinking it was actually D, the Zeiss branch manager Killica. I'm going to go with D on this one.
Okay, you're going to go with D. I'll go with B. Let's scroll. During your first battle against Walter, your team gets saved by Bracer Zen. Fun fact, in Tits FC PSP English release, Zen's name was Zane. This was later corrected in other games releases.
Okay.
So that was just a mistranslation. All right. So that's 1 point. Will you do me a favor and keep track of points?
Yeah, let me open up a quick little notepad.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So question 2. Which of these items is an iconic keepsake of Joshua? A picture of the Bright family. B, a harmonica. C, twin swords. Or D, the necklace he received from Estelle.
That is B.
I think it's got to be B, the harmonica.
Yeah, it's the harmonica, right? For sure.
Yep. All right. It is the harmonica. Fun fact, Joshua's theme song, The Whereabouts of Light, is inspired by a 1986 animation film called Castle in the Sky, from the soundtrack The Girl Who Fell from the Sky. Actually, that's not the only thing that inspired from this animation film.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to watch that, and it's a Studio Ghibli joint. I need to check that out. What's the name of the Bracers Guild training facility located in Le Mans State? A, the Le Mans training facility. B, Le Logel. C, the Grimsel Fortress. Or D, St. Croix.
I'm going to let you guess first because I'm pretty sure I know the right answer and I don't want you copying me.
Okay. I think, the fortress sounds familiar to me. Like, training facility doesn't sound familiar. I don't recognize Le Logo at all. And St. Croix just makes me think of LaCroix, so I'm not going to pick that regardless. Call back to the Patreon section. You should join patreon.com/Steam Machine Podcast. So I'm going to go C, the Grimsel Fortress.
I'm going to go B, Le Locle.
All right, let's see. Damn it! It is Le Locle. It is Le Locle. So that is a point for you and not a point for me, my good sir. Oh, wait. Fun fact. Le Locle is named after the canyon where it's situated. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, it doesn't tell you that in the game, but this map he's got right here does say Le Loco Canyon. Or Canyon. Le Borough is surrounded by these countries. A, the Erebonian Empire, Le Mans State, and Calivard Republic. B, the Crossbill State, Le Mans State, Calivard Republic, and the Erebonian Empire. C, the Erebonian Empire, Calivard Republic, and Crossbill State. Or D, the Calivard Republic and the Erebonian Empire. I know for a fact that Calivard and Erebonia are.
Yeah.
But was Crossbill near them?
I don't think it... I'm going with D on this one. I think it's just the two. Because I think it's surrounded by water on one part of it.
Oh, you know what? I think you're right.
I'm going D.
Right. I'll go D as well, but I have a strong suspicion it might be C. Yeah, I'll go D as well.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. Well, I'm glad I fucking... yeah, it was D. Fun fact, there are many countries revealed during the series. However, the eastern side of Zemuria still remains hidden.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. There's a map here that he
here's a map. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so yeah, Liberal Kingdom really is down there by the water in the south.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And everything else is up to the north. Okay. Man, the Erebonian Empire's big.
Yeah, it is. Well, they're kind of warmongers, so that's kind of their thing. Take as much land as possible.
Fair enough. All right. Liberal suffered from a war 6 years ago prior to the events of the first chapter. What was it called? A, the 100 Years' War. B, the 100 Days' War. C, the War of Independence. Or D, the 100-Hour War.
I'm so torn between two of those answers.
Yeah, me too. Me too. A and B.
Yep.
I'm like, fuck, what was it?
I want to say A. I'm going to go A on this one.
Are you? Okay, I was going to say A too, but just for the indifference, I'll go B. So, because I don't want to copy you every time. So I'll go B. Let's see.
Oh.
Yes! Yes! Woo! All right. It was B, the 100 Days War. Fact. Oh, this isn't a fun fact? Okay, just a fact.
Just a fact.
Many Liberalians lost their family members in the war, including Estelle and Agathe. Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, that's not fun, Dal. That's not fun at all.
What is the full name of our beloved student, Chloe? Yeah, I just saw what you were laughing at. A, Claudia von Auslese. B, Chloe Bright. C, Chloe Rins. Or D, Claudia Schwarzenegger.
Well, we all know German sounding names are evil in this game, so it can't be that one. It's A, Claudia von Ellis.
Yeah, it's definitely A. Although I think von Auslese is also a German name, but I could be wrong. Maybe she's really evil. We need to look better at her eyes, the way her face is drawn.
Right.
Fun fact, the Auslese family were the ones who founded Liberal. Nice. What is the enforcer number of the Angel of Slaughter Rena? Oh. A, number 13. B, number 2. C, number 15. Or D, number 9. Now, while we're on this question, one thing I wanted to point out earlier and forgot. The Society of Ouroboros reminds me a lot. And not that they're connected or anything, but like it reminds me a lot of Organization 13 from Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
Because it's so mysterious and you're like, who are these members? Oh, yeah. It reminds me of the same thing. Like same style of shit going on.
Yeah.
So for this one though, dude, I want to say it was A. I want to say she was 13.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was that obvious. If it was 13, I feel like I'd remember that. I want to say it was number 9, so I think I'm going to go D on this one.
D? Okay, I'll go A.
Oh, we were both wrong.
Both wrong. She was number 15. Fun fact, the Society's enforcer numbers are based on tarot cards. Ren's aligns with the devil.
Ah, okay.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that does make a lot more sense now that you think of Campanella the Fool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dude, okay. Talking about a character that didn't get fleshed out a lot, but I'm so intrigued by
he's going to be huge.
Campanella.
He's going to be huge in the 3rd chapter, I guarantee it.
Has to be. Campanella is so intriguing. What's the name of the matron who runs Mercia Orphanage in Rouen? Is it A, Elizabeth, B, Lilith, C, Teresa, or D, Anna? I'm pretty sure it's Teresa.
I'm pretty sure it's Teresa, too.
Yeah, so we're both going to go C?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll both go C. And we were right. Matron Teresa is Chloe's mother figure. That's the fun fact for this one. And that is true. All right, next question. What does the game use to introduce Father Kevin Graham to us? Or what name does the game use to introduce him? Is it A, Father Kevin, B, Talking Grass, C, Kevin Graham, or D, Insensitive Jerk? You know, I actually think it might be D.
I'm pretty sure it's D.
I think it might be D.
It's D, yeah.
All right, so let's see. Yeah, it is. Insensitive. Oh, I love his smile.
Yeah.
I love Kevin. Fun fact, Father Kevin serves as a comedic relief when he interacts with the main cast, but never shows his true side. His story and character growth is revealed in Tits the Third. I love that the acronym for Trails in the Sky is just Tits. It's just tremendous. What's the name of the airline company that takes you around Liberal? Is it A, the Liberal Orbital Ship Company, or Co? B, Liberal Airlines, C, the Royal Airline Co, or D, Reinford and Werner Co?
Huh. I want to think it's honestly just B, Liberal Airlines.
See, I think it's C. I think it's the Royal Airline.
You might be right.
All right, so you got B, we got C.
Yeah.
Let's scroll and see. We're both wrong. Both wrong. It was A, the Liberal Orbital Ship Company. Man, we're not going to have a great race.
You're not. It's okay. I ended this game with a rank of D.
Yeah, I think I was D or C. Yeah, which sucks because that scene. Apparently, that scene when Estelle is like, Olivia, you're full of shit, like, is much more impactful if you can be like, I'm an A rank bracer, god damn it, instead of being like, I'm a D rank bracer. Fun fact: airships are what brought victory to Liberal in the 100-Day War.
Not year.
Not year. What's the name of Estelle's favorite shoe brand? Oh, that's a callback. A, the Strega Corporation, B, the Verne Company, C, the Reinford Company, or D, the Epstein Foundation.
Every time this game said the name Epstein, I was like, oh, God. But I'm pretty sure it's A, the Strega Corporation.
I think it is too. I'm going to go A as well, because I think that's the only thing that sounds remotely familiar to me, other than Epstein, and that's just...
Not the same thing.
We were right. Okay, so it is the Strega Corporation. Fun fact, Estelle loves Strega shoes so much that she frequently asks her locals if they have received the latest models. This cute G-ranked bracer, or no, C-ranked, sorry, this is just a weird font. This cute C-ranked bracer's biggest weakness is all things cute. A, Annalise, B, Tita, C, Karna, or D, Agate.
Oh, it's D, Agate all the way. JK, it's A, Annalise.
Yeah, it's absolutely Annalise. And I was waiting and waiting and waiting for the moment where Annalise was going to meet Tita. And then when it happened, it was exactly like I knew it would be, when Annalise is just like, oh my God, you're so cute. And just grabs Tita and squishes her. Like, oh, it's tremendous. Yeah, 100%. Look at Annalise. Yeah. How can you not love her?
She's great.
Fantastic. Fun fact, cuteness is justice. All right, crystals that monsters drop after defeating them are called A, sepith, B, septium, D, quartz, or C, quartz, or D, seption, or septian. It's A.
It's A.
It's A. Sepith.
It's sepith. Yeah.
I've seen that word so many times.
Yeah, right?
Because it makes me think of Sephiroth. Sephiroth. Yeah, we were right. Fun fact, in TITS SC, seventh value increases each chapter until it reaches 30 mira per sepith. 10 was the starting price in FC. Talk about inflation. For real. All right, who's behind Easter egg hunt side quests our bracer friends have to solve? Oh, no. A, the Ravens, B, Phantom Thief B, C, branch managers, or D, Joe?
Well, I know you'd never see this or this joke coming, but it's the Phantom Thief B.
Blue Blanc.
Blue Blanc.
I don't even think we ever mentioned his name earlier, but yeah, it's Blue Blanc.
Yeah.
Which is spelled Bleu Blanc.
Yeah.
But, French. Yeah. Hey, if he would have had a German name, his name would have been... I don't remember the word for blue and white. I know Weiss is actually white, but...
I don't remember the colors in German either.
But his name would have been so much more hardcore than Blue Blanc. But his whole thing was like, he was basically the evil version of Olivier and Kevin.
Yes.
Like, those three, like, they could have a buddy sitcom. So yeah. What was that one? The branch manager? I'll go C, because I remember there was one time where they sent them out on a thing to like they were just testing them or whatever, and it was like the whole, but that wasn't the, well, I already committed. Yep. God damn it. All right, you were right. Phantom Thief B. Fun fact, Phantom Thief Bleu Blanc is one of the most mysterious person in Tits trilogy, and his true identity has never been revealed. You can learn more about him in Tits the Third's Star Door 11.
Okay.
Whatever the fuck that means. Grancel is the capital and the biggest city in Liberal, yet it doesn't have a... That Grancel is what I was trying to think of earlier. A, fishing spots. B, ancient Zemurian building. D, or C, accommodations. Or D, a mayor/elder. I want to say it's A.
I want to say B. I'm committing to B.
Okay, I'll commit to A, because I don't remember fishing in Grancel, but I could be wrong.
Oh, really?
Oh, the queen.
Double fail.
Damn it. Why was I thinking of the place that's got the mayor who's the blonde?
That's what I was. That's why I didn't think it was Mary either. That's
fuck, man.
Me too.
Fun fact: Queen Alicia von Auslis also serves as a governor of Grancel and has been doing so for 40 years. I guess they don't have terms or service terms. In Chapter 4, you get a side quest where you witness a drinking battle between 4 contestants: Ina, Scheherazade, Olivier, and Anton. Who won the battle? Did you do this quest?
I didn't.
I didn't. Damn it. Okay.
I have a feeling I know who. I have 2 people that it's between.
Yeah, I know it ain't Olivier because he ain't even a fucking queen.
I'm going to say no one. It was a tie between Scheherazade and Ina. That's my guess.
Okay. And then I'm going to go Ina.
Okay.
Just because I think it would be funny if she beat Scheherazade. Damn it! Nate is right. It was a tie. Fun fact, be careful with these two. They won't get drunk even after 37 bottles of liquor. Jesus Christ. And they look so innocent.
They do.
They will drink you under the table. It makes me think of the time I went and hung out with a friend of mine, this girl, and she was like, yeah, well, we can drink. Okay. I was hungover for 3 days.
Especially Ina, though, because Ina does not look like the type.
Not at all. I mean, Shira looks like she could probably hold her own. Ina's the one who sneaks up on you and's like, oh, you want to make this a bet?
Yeah.
And then she just sharks you. She starts shotgunning brews like no one's business. All right. Estelle and Joshua's relationship has left some fans feeling uncomfortable. On top of it, Falcom made this relationship a love triangle with this playable character. A, Olivier. B, Kevin. C, Josette. Or D, Chloe. It's Josette.
It's Josette. C for sure.
Yeah, we talked about this. Yeah. That scene right there, the one he's got the picture of, where when they both like just called a truce so they could both talk shit to Josh. Hilarious,
yeah, great.
And I felt that. Been in situations like that before, where all of a sudden the girls in the room are ganging up on me. I'm like, whoa. Fun fact: you receive a half a point if you guessed Chloe, quarter point if you guessed Olivier, quarter of a point if you guessed Kevin, quarter point you get the point. He's not wrong. Like all of those like had flirty stuff with everybody, it seems like. Who won Rouen mayor election? A, Norman. B, Portis. C, Duke Nukem. Or D, Friendship.
I never went back there to find out, but I'm going to go with the oddball guess here. I'm going to guess D, Friendship.
All right. I'm going to guess Portis, because that just sounds cooler than Norman. Damn it! Fun fact: hail to the king. Vote C. I didn't even realize that C was Duke Nukem on the. No, that's tremendous. That's
well played, Master Lee.
Yeah, thank you. That was the word. I was like, well played. Yeah, the Rouen mayoral election is finally over. In both Rouen and Minoria, voters were out bright and early to cast their votes. The voting went smoothly and without a repeat of earlier incident. Early voting was also in place for the reserve army forces, but they lost count. No, I'm just kidding. After polls closed and votes were tallied, the victor was declared as Norman, who secured roughly 60% of the vote, while Portis said, rigged.
I hate how much that actually sounded like him.
Dude, I hate how good I do his voice. I do. It really bothers me. It really does. Kevin Graham presents himself as a wandering priest to our cast at first, but later reveals himself as A, Squire of Septian Church. B, the Spirit of Grass.
Explains the green hair.
I love the references to his hair. Yeah. C, Knight of the Grailsritter. Grossritter. Excuse me. That is absolutely another German word. D, Enforcer number 5, the Heretic Hunter.
D, just kidding. It's C.
Yeah, it's C for sure. But dude, D's cool sounding.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Kevin. Hitching a ride. He looks like he's hitchhiking. Fun fact, Kevin is not only a knight, he's one of the 12 dominions of the Septian Church. Damn. What's the name of the secret collectible book series in Tits SC? Well, I'm confused because I thought that was the
The newspaper?
Liberal news.
There's another one.
But that's not... okay, so A, Back Alley Dr. Glenn. I don't know why that strikes me so funny. Back Alley Dr. Glenn. That's a good song name. B, Carnelia. C, Gambler Jack. Or D, The Doll Knight.
So do you remember getting references to the Doll Knight in when Kevin was reading that book to those kids? That was the Doll Knight. But I'm pretty sure the answer to this one is C, Gambler Jack.
Yeah, because that's the only one that jumps out to me that I remember finding more than once.
Yeah.
Was Gambler Jack books. And they would be in the randomest of places. Yeah. Okay, so C. Nice. Oh, wait, there's actually a picture of Jack there.
Yeah.
Nice. I missed that wherever that was at, and that looks like Tifa.
Dude, that dude looks like a modern person. He does not look like he belongs in this game.
Yeah, dude. Like, he's like, sup, bro? My name's Tad. Fun fact, collecting all 14 books is a requirement to obtain ultimate weapons in Trails in the Sky SC, a subquest that's continuous throughout the series.
Didn't get the ultimate
I didn't realize
weapons.
they were ultimate weapons.
No. I think you can only get 2 in SC. Like, you can get 2. You have to choose which characters they're for. I didn't get either one of them, but that's fine.
All right. In Chapter 7's tetracycling, or tetracyclic?
I think that's how it'd be pronounced, yeah.
Okay. Tower Quest. Which Ouroboros enforcer can be visited in the region where he/C was first met?
Whew.
A, the Phantom Thief Blue Blanc. B, Walter the Dire Wolf. C, the Angel of Slaughter Rena. Or D, the Bewitching Belle Luciola. That's her name. Luciola.
I don't know. I kind of feel like it might be D. That's my guess. I don't know. D.
Okay, you say D. I'll say B. I'll go with Walter
Okay.
Direwolf.
Ah.
Yeah! Complete guess. I got it right. Fun fact. During the last chapter, you can get unique character interactions if you bring the corresponding team members to your boss fights with the enforcers. Motherfucker, that's what we forgot to talk about.
Oh, well. Just keep going.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, that's what it was. Look them up on YouTube if you think.
Yeah.
Which of these characters had prior interactions with our Bracer friends in Trails in the Sky FC? A, Blue Blanc, Anton, and Loe? Or Lo? B, Rena, Major Vander, and Olivier. C, Kurt, Colonel Richard, and Luciola. Or D, Loy, Weissman, and Luciola.
Which one was Oh, yeah, it's A.
I feel like I remember FC having something like the Phantom
He
Thief
was there.
Showing up in that.
He was there because
Yeah,
he did the thing in the mayor's house in the fishing village or whatever that town was.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'll agree. A. And we are correct. Fun fact, Blue Blanc is responsible for the first Easter egg hunt in Rouen in FC. Oh, there you go. Anton is a reoccurring character in the Trail series in his search for love. Tremendous. And Lo disguises himself as the second Lieutenant Lawrence.
Yep.
All right. What secret weapon did the Erebonian Empire develop to help Liberal during the orbital shutdown? A, steam-powered tanks. Steampunk tanks, yeah. B, the orbital railgun. C, troops specialized in non-orbital combat. Or D, zero field generator.
It's them A, steam-powered tanks for the Steam Machine podcast.
I do believe that is correct because they come rolling up on those at that one moment. And that's when Olivier comes out all badass like, oh, I'm a prince. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there they are. Those beauties. Those beautiful 3D rendered tanks with 2D characters standing next to them. Fun fact, steam and gasoline powered tanks are easily overpowered by the most basic of orbital tanks. Not when orbital doesn't work, motherfucker. Which of these characters has an S-craft called Bobcat? A, Kurt. B, Josette. C, Julia. D, Annalise.
Josette.
I think we both know this. Yeah, it's Josette. It's B, Josette. That is correct. Fun fact, the Bobcat is a modified orbital ship that was originally intended for leisure rides for rich families. But they stole that shit.
Well, no, they might have been theirs because they were the rich family before they got dethroned.
That's right. I forgot about that. Damn, good call. What's the name of the Areola? What is the name of the Arle Guardian which the party fight in the sealed area at the end of the first game? Fuck. A, Dragoon T20. B, the Arroyo Guardian. C, the Grand Bishop. Or D, Reverie.
I want to say D, Reverie.
Okay, I'm going to say B, the Arroyo Guardian. Damn it, you're right. You were right, D,
Hell
Reverie.
yeah.
Fun fact, Reverie actually was one of the Guardians sent to destroy the facility under Grancel Castle. It was sealed just as the first barrier was activated, explaining why it attacked only after Colonel Richard destroyed the first barrier. You know, interesting, because the newest Trails game that I know of that came out here is called Trails into Reverie.
Interesting.
So now I'm like, what? All right.
All right.
How many points did you have, my good sir?
I had 18.
You had 18. And how many did I have?
You had 17.
Damn it! Okay. So that puts me at a C rank bracer, my good sir, and that puts you at a B rank bracer.
All of my orders, bitch.
Damn it. Oh, I like the ending screen.
Thank you for your participation.
Look at Olivier in the background with the
That's
barrel
awesome.
on his head. He drunk as fuck. Oh, Josh had a dip in. He's spitting in his cup. Oh, tremendous. That was awesome,
Yeah,
man.
thanks, Masterly. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun, man. And then we got the little prep. I just realized that says Trails in the Sky the Third. That's not a hint at all. That's cool, man. All right, let me move you over here so I can pull up the... There they are. All right. So fan questions, my good sir.
I guess I don't need to watch your screen anymore.
No, I can actually turn that off.
Yeah, all right, let's go into these questions. And this first question I'm going to leave to you because you have a lot more experience with me. This comes in from our buddy Adam. If I want to try a CRPG, where should I start?
Ooh. My first question to you is, do you have experience with the older games? Like if you're a fan of the Baldur's Gate games and things like that, I would recommend Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2. They are pre-rendered backgrounds. Like it's a fantastically awesome looking game. If you want something a little different, Pathfinder Kingmaker and Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, both fantastic. I don't want to say Baldur's Gate 3, even though like that's a great starting point, but that is like still full price. So, you know, but you can find Pillars of Eternity, Divinity, Original Sin 1 and 2. You can find those are great too. If you want something a little more classic, try like Planescape Torment, Baldur's Gate 2. This fucking game I was talking about earlier, Avernum, Escape from the Pit. Find that on sale. There's so many. There's like I think it's called Beautiful Desolations 1 that you can play through the whole thing, and there's like no combat. It's all story driven stuff, but it's still a CRPG style. Disco Elysium, which I've heard so much about, but I haven't played. But I hear it's fantastic. It's one that I want to play for the show eventually. But yeah, if I wanted to give you a definitive answer, Pillars of Eternity or Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous.
Nice.
To start you off.
Sounds good, man. This next one comes in from Team Retro. What other JRPG series are you into these days? Obviously, I'm always into Dragon Quest. And then the only one that I'm playing right now really is Persona 5. So I'm going to give it to Persona for right now. But I'm just going to say Dragon Quest and Persona.
So, yeah, I'm also playing Persona, but everybody knows I love that. So, other series, Neptunia, I still have been loving those. I've been dabbling in, I haven't gotten super far into it, but I do enjoy the gameplay of it. Agarest Generations of War. It's just a long fucking game, so I'm not even like attempting to try to like speed through. I play it for an hour or two at a time, and I'll beat it in 100 or so hours. I don't know. It's a long fucking game. And then other game like Dragon Quest is always good. Final Fantasy is always good, but I'm not really playing anything from them right now. So yeah, I'm gonna go Neptunia and Agarest.
Nice. Hey, it's also from our good boy Team Retro. What is your opinion on Kickstarter and Indiegogo?
I think they're cool concepts, and I think that they do a lot of good. But I also think that there are the people who like take money and run from those situations, and that kind of sucks.
Yeah, and that And I think there are people that are still on Kickstarter that should be off of Kickstarter. Like people that have made a big impact with the games that they were able to produce from Kickstarter and then continue to go to Kickstarter for more money that they probably don't really need anymore, and that overshadows the little names that got the need the start in the first place. Like, I'm pretty sure the people who made Shovel Knight still use Kickstarter, and I think that's kind of shitty.
Yeah, that seems weird because Shovel Knight, that's a popular game.
Yeah.
Like, they had to have made money off
No, they absolutely did. And so, like, I kind of, like, think people abuse it in the wrong ways, and I think that kind of hurts its credibility in the long run.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
All right. Also, from Team Retrogue, what is your favorite SNL skit?
Oh, man. I loved Opera Man.
Yeah.
Opera Man was good. I think my favorite, Sweaty Balls. Will Ferrell and What's-Her-Face as the cheerleaders.
Yeah, Sherry O'Terry.
Fantastic. Yeah, Sherry O'Terry. But I think like it's just far as like something they did that absolutely gets me every time I see it is that fake commercial with Chris Farley and Adam Sandler, and they crack open, I don't remember the name of the beer, but they crack open the beer and all of a sudden there's just like shirtless cabana boys and dudes everywhere. And it's like a gay beer or something like that. Dude, it is hilarious. And just look up SNL beer commercial and look for Chris Farley and Adam Sandler. You will die laughing. It's so good. One
that jumped out to me immediately is there was this one Will Ferrell skit. And I think the other person in it was Garth Brooks. It was just two people in the skit. And I think it was Will Ferrell and Garth Brooks. And Garth Brooks is playing his guitar and is like, man, I just sold my soul to the devil to be the best guitar player in the world.
Yes.
It has to have one big hit song. And then Will Ferrell as the devil pops up and he's going through these songs he's trying to get for Garth Brooks' character. And he's like, oh man, the devil actually kind of sucks. It's not worth selling my soul to him, kind of thing. It was just really a lot funnier than I can describe it.
That scene's hilarious because when Will Ferrell first comes in and he does the devil reveal, because that was like a character he would do every now and then. When he goes to say, I am the devil with Garth Brooks, I guess he breathed in smoke or something because he starts fucking coughing. He's like, I am the devil. No, I just remember, my favorite skit of all time on SNL was a little bit later on. I think the host was Janet Jackson, right? And they went to a wine place, and the two people making the wine were Horatio Sands and Jimmy Fallon. And they were soaking corks for wine bottles. So they were master cork soakers. Right? And he's like, do you remember the time in college when we tried to help each other out and you soaked my cork and I soaked your cork? What year was that? 68? I was thinking it was in 1970. Okay. We soaked each other's cork somewhere between a 68 and a 70s. So then the thing, excuse me, is for one, Janet Jackson says cocksucker on accident instead of cork soaker. She's like, she says, have you been sucking cork long? So it's cracking up. And there's a dude standing behind her, and it's not Daryl Hannah, but it was like one of those guys, like one of the real character guys that were on SNL. And he's like, got on this really light yellow sweater with like a scarf and a hat. And he goes, I would like to try to soak a cork. And Horatio Sands looks at him and goes, as soon as I saw you walk into the room, I said, you know what? He is a professional cork soaker. And he looks at him and he goes, well, I dabbled in college. It is such a funny fucking skit, dude. Look up SNL cork soakers. Look up Garth Brooks and the Devil. And look up whatever the other one was that I can't remember because cork soaker just got me. But like, it's so good. Oh, the gay beer. Look up the gay beer commercial.
All right. This next one comes in from Team Retrogue as well. How would you responsibly spend $100,000 if it were dropped in front of you with no catch except for having to pay taxes on it? You can't spend it on stuff like video games or fancy cars. Functional new cars are fine. Okay,
so taxes on it. So you're probably talking you're going to have like $75,000.
Yeah.
Because the government be greedy bitches.
But only for us poor folk.
Yeah. So let's make it easy. Let's make it 80. It's 80,000 that we'd have left over. I'm going to try to get into an apartment or something, or like a down payment on a house. Although with $80K, I don't even know if you can do that these days.
Yeah, what I would honestly do is sell my current house and add that onto my down payment for my next house.
Yeah, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. I might try to like invest some of it, like take 10 grand of it and give it to a money guy and be like, hey, turn this into more money for me, please.
Yeah, not a bad.
And take a percentage. That's fine.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it, I'll put some in the bank, and then I would probably buy a better vehicle, a functional vehicle.
There you go.
But nothing. I don't need anything fancy, dude. Just give me a pickup truck.
Yeah, like I just
like a small. I don't even need a big one.
That's what I would have bought if I had gotten $100,000. It still is the same thing I would have bought as what I bought.
Yeah, like I'm not Jeremy. I don't need like a fancy car where people are gonna be like, oh, look at my. No, dude. I want to roll incognito.
Yeah. All right. This one is from Master Loot. What is a soft drink or dessert that is exclusive to the USA but should be spread around the world? That kind of funnily coincides with our Patreon section we did. I would say Cheerwine. Throw that around the world, because I know that it's very regional in the USA, but I think that would do well pretty much everywhere. It's good.
And let me think of a dessert. If you're going the soda way, I'll think of a dessert.
Oh, the dessert is moon pies.
Really? Moon pies?
Moon pies, man. Those things are freaking fantastic.
They are good. I'll give you that. But there's so many like desserts that I think of, like monkey bread. But I don't know. Maybe monkey bread's not just an American thing. I don't know.
I don't either.
I need to expand my culinary horizons as far as dessert goes, I suppose. So I'll just say, never mind. It's the International Bottling Company. I can't even use IBC. Cheerwine. Birch beer.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of any desserts. My mind blanked as soon as I tried. But yeah, I'm going to say monkey bread.
Cool. All right, this one goes from Master Loot. What is your favorite heroic entrance from Trails in the Sky second chapter?
I mean, probably when Cassius came riding in on a fucking dragon.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Like, that was pretty badass there at the end. Which, by the way, we didn't touch on Cassius. This is the second game in a row where he is just, like, portrayed as the god among men. Like, Cassius can do no wrong. Apparently, he's just the badass of badasses. It's impressive. I wonder why he never got a game.
Yeah, and I guess my favorite heroic entrance, I don't know. I'm just going to say this isn't really an entrance, but it's kind of like an exit for a villain kind of thing. But the very end of the game, what Kevin does, I'm just going to say that is my answer. Oh, Master Luke, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that scene is hardcore. And then how that scene wraps up, too, is like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's a really good scene.
Which, again, who the hell is Campanella?
Right?
Damn.
All right, this one's from Adam. What's your favorite mob in the game? My answer, I don't have one. I think the monsters in this game are very forgettable.
Yeah, I like their designs, but none of them particularly stick out to me. I mean, it's more so like the boss monsters look really cool, and sometimes the monsters you'd find in chests would be cool looking. But like as their general monsters, they're all right. I'll go Shiny Palms because I thought they were cute, and they give you a shitload of experience if you kill them. They are the metal slimes of this game.
I never killed one, and I didn't feel bad about it because this game just levels you to where it wants you to most of the time anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
For sure.
This is from Adam. Hopes for the rest of the trilogy and hopes for the rest of the series. I mean, my hope is that this next game, now knowing that Kevin is the lead character, I'm just hoping he can carry that game as well as Estelle has the first two. Like, I believe he can, and I'm excited to see it. And one thing, my hope for the rest of the series is that it doesn't lose its charm and character through its transitions into higher technology, because this game is at a level there I could have imagined playing this on a PS1 and it being a good game. I'm worried that as technology's improved, they might lose some of that charm and character that it has.
Yeah, I agree. That was going to be one of mine, and the other one was that I hope that the writing stays as good as it is. Like, this game can weave a story, and I want to see that continue, especially since all these games are connected.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. Give it to me.
All right. And this next question is getting somebody banned from the Discord. This one comes in from Jeff. So, I'm going to give each of you a game to fight against Yakuza. The game you do not choose is erased from existence. So, which game do you not want erased? It's specific to each of the 3 hosts. Dalton, for you, Yakuza or Tomb Raider?
Fuck you, Jeff. Man. I have so many childhood memories tied to Tomb Raider and playing it with my dad that I can't give that up. So as much as I like Yakuza, I cannot get rid of Tomb Raider. So I'm going to big Tomb Raider.
Yeah. This next one for me, you piece of shit, is Yakuza or Sonic. And you had to do 2 Sega franchises against each other too, didn't you, dickwad? I can't get rid of Sonic. I just can't get rid of Sonic. Because, like, who even knows if Yakuza would exist today without Sonic being what it was back in the day?
Yeah. Absolutely, because Sega, I mean, that their whole flagship was Sonic.
Yeah, so it's like,
still is Sonic.
So, like, I can't get rid of Sonic. And as much as, like, people want to talk about the Sonic series was bad for a while, after the last game, I have a lot of hope for it for the future, even. So I'm just going to keep my Sonic for now and kick you in the balls next time I see you, Jeff. And the question from Willie, I think we know the answer, is Yakuza or Doom.
Yeah, and we all know that Willie's absolutely going to keep Doom. Like, there's no question about that in my mind.
Willie would race every other video game in existence to keep Doom.
Yeah. 2 things I want to say, Jeff. 1, congratulations. You found a way to get all 3 of us to say we would kill Yakuza. 2, we're going to need 10 Raise Hill Praise Dales at least. You motherfucker. And then, like, actually, 3, Jeff. Are you okay?
Yeah, you okay, Jeff?
Are you okay?
All right?
Because when you asked this, it cracked me up. When fucking Jeremy's like, "Who hurt you?"
Are you okay?
Jeff, are you okay?
All right, this one's from Dane. In an alien invasion scenario, do you offer Jeff as a sex slave to the aliens for putting you against Yakuza, or me because you know I've always wanted to bang an alien? I know this is more of a Yab spot appropriate, but shots were fired.
Oh man, well, when you word it like that, I do love Jeff. I don't know if I want to subject him to being a sex slave. If you've always wanted a fucking alien, like, I can't deny you that. You could be the first guy to meet an alien species, and fuck it. And then when they see you walking down the street, they'll point to you and be like, "Hey, homeboy fucked a Martian one."
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Dane. I'll let you get fucked by that.
And I'm more the person that likes to deliver rewards rather than punishment. So Dane, you've been a very, very good boy. It's your time.
You can have that alien badus. Or wiener. We don't know.
Either way, I'm sure you'll like it.
Yeah.
Or tentacles. You never know, man.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. Who knows?
And this one's from Team Retro. So here's my question. We banning Jeff? Or does he have to do some Raise Hells, Praise Dales?
And we answer that. He's got to give at least 10. And no copy-paste bullshit. You type those motherfuckers out, Jeff.
Yeah. Like a man.
Like a man.
And this last question comes in from the lovely Kana. Is there a game that's brought you to tears?
So, as I've gotten older, I don't know what it is. I've become more in tune with my emotions, I guess. As stupid as it sounds, I really think it's because I got really into Kevin Smith for a while. And I would listen to him talk about how, like, he learned to just let his emotions out when he feels them. And it, like, helped him with the release. You know what I'm saying? So now I'll be sitting on the toilet and see, like, a cute puppy video and tears. You know, like, fucking A. So games that have brought me to tears, the ones that I can remember, Persona 5, Trails in the Sky first chapter. That might be it that I can remember right offhand. I might be forgetting one. But, yeah.
I will also say yes. And the game that I can really remember doing that to me was actually Yakuza 0.
Oh, yes. Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
The scene with Nishiki and
Nishiki and Kiryu.
Yeah, that one got me hard, dude. It got me hard.
And that was when I was
hard.
No, yeah. It got you in the feels
Yes,
hard.
that's the better way to say it. So yes, Connor, and Yakuza 0 is 1. So once again, get your race hells, praise Dale's up there right now, Jeff.
Yeah, right now, Jeff. As soon as you hear this, you better be typing it.
All right, and that wraps it, man.
That wraps it. All right, then that means I need to pull up the show diddly notes real quick so I can run through the house cleaning and we can get up out of here. Also, Willie is not here, but he did tell us that for his next game that he would like to choose, and this cleared up the poll, and we were able to make a new poll, which I'll talk about in just a second. He is picking Titan Souls, which looks interesting. I know nothing about it other than it looks like it's a 2D game and it's probably going to be real hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. I will probably be the one who likes it the least, but we'll see. I might love it because I love Shadow of the Colossus, and he told me it's got a vibe about it like that. So we shall see. And if you would do us a huge favor and leave us a review on iTunes and Spotify, that would be rad. 5 stars on Spotify, or excuse me, 5 stars on iTunes. Even if you think we suck, tell us about how much we suck, but give us 5 stars. Yeah. That'd be sweet. Spotify, give us a thumbs up. If you want to come join the Discord, which I don't even plug our social media anymore, even though like I think we're talking about trying to get the TikTok going again just to see what happens. But like Discord, come join. It's where all the shit happens. We got a bunch of people in there. Not everyone talks, but we appreciate the lurkers. Discord is bit.ly/TSMP Discord. And it's all capital letters. Just type that in. It'll get you an invite. Boom. You can join and come in and vote on the different polls, which we have 3 going right now. 3. The fan picked game poll, which Duke Nukem is still winning by a landslide. Hail to the King, vote C, baby. Which, again, I know we've touched on this the past few episodes. I'm touching on it again. The amount of interaction that we got on this poll was fantastic. I want to see that more often. Please, if there's a game on there that you really want to win, campaign for it. It was entertaining as fuck watching all you campaign for Duke Nukem.
Yeah.
And Fear. Both. And shout out to Jish. I'm assuming your name is Josh, but I'm going to call you Jish because that's what your tag is. But like he came in and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna stand for Horizon Zero Dawn. And shout out to you, man, because I agree. That is a good fucking game and no one else will believe me. But then the other polls we got the short game poll. So whenever we do and I can actually delete Titan Souls off there now that we talked about this. All right. So whenever we do a long game like Trails, we try to throw a short game in the middle. Like Nate used his pick to do a short hike, kind of like that. So the poll that's up right now for the next short game that we would use is Lara Croft Go, Blazing Chrome, Claire, Dreamscapes The Sandman, and Far Cry Blood Dragon. So far, Far Cry Blood Dragon winning. All of those games good in their own right for different reasons. I want to say Dreamscapes The Sandman, pretty sure that's a hidden object game.
Ooh.
So like, you guys know we love that. I'm just saying. But I can't argue with Far Cry Blood Dragon winning right now because that game is 80s cheese, the video game. And it is like neon heaven. And I'm for it.
Hell yeah.
And then the other one is the retro game vote, which is something that I just came up with when I was like, you know what? Let's start taking advantage of the fact that RetroArch is technically on Steam, even though we don't use that version. So I was like, you know what? Let's each pick 2 retro games, and we'll throw it up. And in lieu of a short game, one week one episode when we need a shorter game, we can run an old school. We'll emulate something and see how it holds up to this day's standards. And for that, we got my 2 choices, which were Jersey Devil and Tobal Number 1, both for the PlayStation 1. We got Nate's 2 choices, which were Donkey Kong Country 2 for the Super Nintendo and WCW versus NWO Revenge for the Nintendo 64. And Willie's choices, which were Adventure Island 4, which would be a patched ROM, translated ROM, and for the NES, and Super Noah's Ark 3D for the Super Nintendo. And looking at this, it's looking like Adventure Island is actually winning right now.
Nice.
So, no love for Tobal Number 1, as per usual. As per, you wait till I throw Stanley Search for Dr. Livingston on there, motherfuckers. You just wait. I'm going to campaign for that motherfucker. Anyway, come join the Discord, bit.ly/TSMP Discord. You want to check out the website, which is up to date, thanks to one Dane himself, bit.ly/The Steam Machine Podcast. Capitalize that phonetically. You'll be fine. Patreon, you want to donate to the show? That would mean a shitload to me. It actually helps me pay my insurance, which is needed. So thank you very much. Patreon.com/The Steam Machine Podcast. Don't even got to capitalize any of that shit. All lowercase. Make it easy as hell for you. If you donate $1, you get each and every episode early, ad-free, and all of that jazz. Although I will say this episode won't come out super early because we had to record a day late. That's on me. It's all good. So I do want to say that if you donate $10 or more a month, you get your name read on each and every single episode like these wonderful people. Nate Sir Cogsworth, the 7th of Juniper. Jeff, the original expendable Mr. Syllables, old Jeffy Lube with 1,000 nicknames himself. Reeser Adam, shout out to his podcast and blog in the Discord, Revival and Extinction. James, the Steam Machine, Hall Monitor Hall. Team Retro, go check him out over on YouTube. And also, now you can hear Team Retro each and every week with me on the JRPG Report. He's been doing good. He worries about him saying too much. I'm like, that'll go away. It comes with getting comfortable on the mic. You'll be fine. One Mr. Puzzles Dane himself, and Chad the Mad Lad, no C in his goddamn name, Schaefer. Thank you guys very much. We do appreciate it. It means the world that, like, to me, that there are people who like this show enough to like give us money for it.
No kidding. That's crazy.
I really appreciate that. Shout out to Yabspod, yet another BS podcast. Me and Jeremy bi-weekly on the opposite weeks, or the opposing, however you want to say that, of Steam Machine. You can catch Yabspod, me and Jeremy just shooting the bull for a couple hours. We don't go as long as we used to now, but you know what's funny is that we do 2-hour episodes now and we finish, and sometimes me and him will be like, how the fuck did we do a 4.5-hour episode?
I don't know how y'all did that, man.
I was drinking during that particular episode, I'm pretty sure, but still, it was like, man, it was fun though. And shout out to the JRPG Report, which is a weekly JRPG news show where you can find me and Mikhailov, aka Team Retro, talking about some JRPG goodness. And we also released on Sunday a Sunday special, which was the Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana original soundtrack, and it was fire.
Nice.
Ys has such good music. It is so good. So shout out to those. You want to pick up a shirt? Listen, I know, like, none of you pick up shirts. I'm still going to plug this. I would love to start seeing some people in some Steam Machine merch, some Yabspod merch. And when you buy it, post a picture of it in the Discord. I'll, like, make a collage of it or something. I don't want to copy Tadpog the way they did theirs, though. So I'll think of something. But hit us up with you wearing the merch. tsmpproductions.threadless.com. You can even get more than shirts. You want to get a jacket? You want to get underwear with the logo on it? It's there. Show music. You want to check us out? Check out, if you like the music, find me Nile the Nightmare on Bandcamp. You can search Nile the Nightmare on Spotify now and hear some of my hip-hop stuff that I've been working on. You can also find me at nile.the.nightmare on TikTok. Go check me out over there. And, well, you know what? Fuck it. While I'm plugging that kind of shit, you want to check out my vocal covers and stuff? YouTube, just search Dalton Suter. TikTok as DJ Viper 352. Check me out. My TikTok numbers have been doing relatively well. I'm surprised. Like, I had one hit 4,000, and I was like, damn. But yeah, man. And again, please leave us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Is there anything else that you would like to say, my good sir?
Nope, I think I'm good, brother.
All right. Supai. Oh, never mind. That was from last episode. I'm like, what the hell is Supai Kame? I'm looking under your notes, and I'm like, never mind. That's from last episode. All right. Well, then our next game is Titan Souls. So keep your ears peeled for that. And in the next 2 weeks, we will catch you then. For the one half of the Destructo Bros, my name is Dalton, and as always, guys, take it easy.